There it is. What is up, ladies and gents? It's your boy G here from Hybrid BMX. And today, I have a special way that I'm going to do this episode. So, the way I'm going to do this episode is I'm going to show you guys how I start an episode. And if you see this, I just want to show you guys this so that way I don't hear it in the comments. This happened, okay? It happened. It's not because of riding, believe it or not. But I'm a little self-conscious about it, so it was really hard to make a video, but I'm going to do it anyway because I love you guys. And I'm thankful for the support, and I'm going to keep on making awesome videos. But the way we're going to start this video is by showing you how I start a video. How I get ready, how I get prepared, and what things happen to get into it. Because I was thinking about it, and I'm like, what kind of content am I going to make this week? What kind of video am I going to make this week? And I want to do something to kind of spice it up a little bit, make it a little bit different than me just working on bikes. So check it out. This is how it works. Okay, so the first thing I do is I come down to my basement, I make sure I fill up the vape, and make sure that it's on. There we go. Take a good puff, and I think hard about what I want to make. So I'll look at whatever parts I have laying around, come over here, and I'll look at what all needs done. I need to put that chair back together because it decided to rock apart. I found this on the side of the road though, so it's not a surprise, guys. But anyways, so then I look at what I have. This guy's coming off the bench for now because it's not getting built yet. So that's coming off the bench. So that's the first thing I start doing, is I start kind of getting things picked up, cleaned up if they've been a mess before. This is all the way it was last week when I was down here. I don't know if you guys noticed that from the last video, but if you've picked that up, then you've been watching my videos for a while, and thank you for watching. But anyways, guys, I make sure I look at my area and I clean up, which I'm going to do off camera here. I'm not going to show you guys me cleaning because that's stupid. But that's what I do first. I clean, and then I decide, I look at the parts I have, I look at the pieces of bikes I have, and I go, okay, what's my video going to be now? You know, am I going to lace up a wheel, or am I going to unlace a wheel, or what am I going to do? What's going to be the video? So, and then I come over here, and in order to relax myself, especially if it's been a long day or whatever, the family and I went to a place called Splash Lagoon today. But I go to the mini fridge. Oh, beer. I'm gonna grab a nice cool beer. But if it's a night where I don't feel like drinking beer, I grab a pop. Grab a pop. Pop that sucker down. If you're a young kid, don't do this. It's not good for you. But if you're an adult, beer is nice after a long day. So then what I do is I say, okay, what else do I need? Am I going to be filming in here? If I'm going to be filming in here, this light right here stays. If not, if I say, okay, no, I'm going to be filming in the workspace, then the cool thing about this light is I don't have to go and buy a really nice camera light. Instead, I just unhook. Sorry, guys. Now, once the basement's finished, this is going to be an issue. I'm probably going to have to use this light differently. But then I just lace it through my pallet wall like this. Just like so. Through here. Bam. And then what happens is, this is really cool. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Hi, what's up? So this is what we do. So now I have really good exposure. You guys can see me really well. Unfortunately, I don't really know where my tripod is. I think it's out in the garage somewhere, so I gotta go find it real quick. But then I'm gonna be miking you guys up, which is why I have the mic right here on the wall. I did one video where I was trying to record it, and I thought I had the mic plugged all the way in, and it wasn't. So I'm gonna start taking the outside shell of my case of my phone off. But yeah, so that will be the next thing I do. And then, you know, grab whatever tools I need, whatever I'm doing, and make sure I'm all set up. So that gives you guys an idea of what a video is and how it's set up. What I might do tonight, actually, is something that I've been meaning to do for myself for a while. And most of the project bikes right now are kind of they're not on the back burner. Like I said in the last video, they're not on the back burner. But I'm in a situation where I can't really do much right now. And the videos that I could put out is content that I've already kind of put out. So relacing a wheel is something that I still need to do. So that's going to make an awesome video. But it's not time for that. I got to clean them and stuff like that, but you guys have already seen videos where I clean bikes. Don't need another one of those. So I will do that with certain bikes. When I get a new bike in, I'll take it apart. I'll do a take it apart video, even though I've done it a million times. It's just something that you guys enjoy watching, and I frankly enjoy doing. So it teaches, and it's cool to watch. It's cool to watch a different bike come apart because you never know what you're gonna get. It's like what's his name said, you know, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Forrest Gump. Doug Ray, come on. But it's like Forrest Gump said, you know, life's like a box of chocolates. Bikes are like boxes of chocolates, except they don't taste very good. But they are really awesome, and they're very fun to work on. So I think what we might do is, with the exception of the brakes, we might take my kink, apart. The wheels don't need greased, but I know for a fact my bottom bracket needs greased. I know for a fact that needs greased, and the whole thing needs a good solid cleaning because it is disgusting. I mean, there is just dirt and dinge all over this bike. It is nasty, and I might just hit it up with just a little bit of touch up. Just spray a little bit of this mint a little bit, because it's like I said, it's nasty looking. It's nasty looking. And at the end of this month, guys, I'm probably gonna be heading down to the wheel mill. You know, everything considered, conditions considered, with, you know, bills and everything else. Now we can afford it, but at the end of this month, it should be going down to the wheel mill. We're doing our family day, so if I do make it to the wheel mill, I want the bike to look decent. I don't want it to look like thrown together mess like most bikes do. I mean, it doesn't look like thrown together mess, but it could look better. But anyways, guys, this part of the video is getting kind of long. You guys have seen it now. Sometimes I'll throw on the TV, watch a little TV while I'm doing stuff, but obviously I'm with you guys, so I'm not going to be watching no TV. Anyways, guys, let me go ahead and head upstairs, look for my tripod, and we'll get started on this. Alright, ladies and gents, so let's get started on this video. So today, what we're going to be doing is taking apart my personal bike and teaching you guys basically how to do a deep clean. Now, I started doing these when I was about 15, when I got my first real BMX bike. My first real BMX bike was a DK 6-pack. And my buddies always made fun of me because my bike was always like the cleanest bike in the crew. So they thought, oh, Craig doesn't ever do any tricks or anything, which was not true. But pretty much what I would do is almost every night, I would, well, not every night, but at least once a week, I would take my bike completely apart. And obviously I don't do that now. I'd probably take it apart, maybe, this is horrible, but I'm going to start trying to get better about this and make a schedule of it. But when I don't ride it very frequently, I won't do it for months. When I ride it frequently, it might be once every month or once every 2 months. I'll take it all apart and re-grease and re-clean. It needs a deep clean every once in a while. Your bike should be, if it's something that you love to do, you should take care of it. So pretty much, you don't need a whole lot to even work on a BMX bike. But some tools that may be helpful to help you guys get this stuff done a little easier and quicker. They're not a necessity, but actually no, these are the tools that are a necessity. Okay, tools that are a necessity is going to be a 15 millimeter or 3/8 wrench, 19 millimeter wrench, an adjustable crescent is very helpful. A 6 millimeter Allen, very important. I like T-handles. T-handles work better to like loosen things up because they have a handle. Some guys are just like, whatever, just use the old-fashioned one. It's got a handle built in. Well, yeah, but I mean, this is a lot easier to hold and twist than a wrench that is like slippery sometimes, or just sometimes doesn't work. Or some guys buy those like cheap little like contained things. Let's see if I have one actually. I might have one in here. Yeah, one of these. Some guys will buy one of these. Yeah, Harbor Freight thing. Yeah, one of these little guys. I mean, they work in a pinch. Like when you're on, like, this is great for when you're going somewhere and you need a tool. This is great for that. But for like working at home or wherever that like you're gonna be there for a while, have your good tools with you. It's helpful. Okay, so that, and this is not necessary, but if your rims are kind of wacky, and you really should be checking your spokes anyways to make sure. These spokes I don't really have to worry about because they're brand new wheels. But always have a spoke wrench too on hand, just in case your spokes are a little loose. You could true up your wheel a little bit, and it might save you a ton of money later on down the road. So anyway, and then if you're an adult, a good thing to have when you're working on your bike is it's a time-consuming thing, and it's kind of mundane. A beer and vape. Very nice. Anyways, getting away from the beer and vape thing, let's get started on this. Okay, so our first step, especially on my bench, because my bench, whoa, you guys are moving. There we go. I can't wait to buy a gimbal. By the way, I've been looking up those two guys. I found one that I really like, and I'm trying to remember what company makes it right now. Either way, it's a really cool gimbal for phones, which will make this whole entire situation a million times easier, because right now the way I'm filming and stuff is just, it's like archaic almost. All right, so the first thing we're gonna need to do, because my bench is small and my bike is long, is take these stinking wheels off. So, take the wheels off. You guys have seen this in other videos, so I really don't need to be crazy about explaining it. But you just put a wrench on the bad boy and twist it right on off there. Now, if you got an older bike, hold on, there we go. If you got an older bike, it might be, or you haven't done it in a while, it might be a little bit tougher. If that's the case, pull out the good old socket wrench from an extension and bingo, there you go. Or if you have pegs on, guys. Okay, and then for the chain, you can do one of two things. With this chain, because I love the color, man, I love the color of this chain. I love it that it's purple. It's so hot. It's so hot though. I really don't want to scratch it or the sprocket or anything else. So I'm going to try to move this out here a little bit and just ever so slightly loosen it off of here. I just don't want to scratch it up. I know that sounds silly, guys. You guys are probably like, really, dude, you're gonna go out and do tricks on it later. Like, why would you worry about that? And then here's another thing that you're gonna need to do if you got big tires like I do, because I do, is let the air out of your back wheel. You won't have to do this with the front, just the back. Go ahead and let that air out, so you can pull the tire out of there. There she comes. There's the beautiful purple monster. I love this freaking thing, man. Listen to how cool this thing sounds. I don't get to do this very often, so. That monster hub is so hot, dude. Sounds so good. Sounds so good. Okay, so there's that. Okay. And then the chain I probably should take off here, but for now I'm just gonna leave it laying. And we're going to work on getting the front wheel off here, just so that I have a little bit more bench space, because right now I'm limited with my bench space just because of the wheels. So, take your good old 3/8. See what I mean? See exactly what I mean? These bars are huge too, guys. I mean, these bars are ridiculous on this bike. They're freaking huge. Even when I cut them down, I had a guy comment on one of my videos, like how to cut your BMX bars down. And he's like, they're probably too short now. It's like, dude, no, they're still too long. I didn't even know he was talking about it. I'm like, dude, I try to do a bar spin with these things and they freaking take out my shirt. All right. And just like the front, real simple. I like using the box end of the wrench. Makes it a little bit quicker, but if you have pegs, there's really no other option. Okay, and then we'll pull her back out here. Go ahead and pop this wheel off. We gotta pull, mine has these special little spacers, and just pull them right off of there. Try to not have the bike fall on your face again. And there's the other beautiful purple monster. Where's the monster sticker? Monster. Whoa, it's upside down. Monster. It's upside down. Monster. There we go. Still backwards for you guys, but whatever. you get the idea. They're just beautiful. I mean, they just spin. Oh, they're so nice. All sealed, double wall, low doubles. They're beautiful, man. I freaking love these wheels. Anyway, okay. So enough goo-goo and gaga and over some wheels, and let's get this get these cranks off of here. There we go. So the first thing you want to do when you're doing cranks, make sure you loosen the pinch bolts, guys. If you want to get crazy and clean like a madman, you could take your pedals off. I'm not doing that because I'm lazy and I don't feel like cleaning my pedals. And I just got these pedals, so the bearings are fine. They don't need grease or anything. But if it's been a while since you greased your pedals, think about it. Think about it. If it's been 6 months, 8 months since you greased your pedals and they're still good by that point. Because, I mean, there's a lot of people that talk about this new poly, plastic, whatever, and how awesome it is. I don't buy that, man. Like, I do, obviously. I have them on my bike, but because they're light, and they're comfortable, and they're good, and they're cheap. I think that's the main option for me, is that they're affordable. Plastic pedals are stupid affordable, and a lot of guys, it's not actually plastic. Well, I mean, polyethylene, or whatever the hell you want to call it, or vinyl whatever, or whatever the heck it's called, it's still the same freaking thing. I mean, at the end of the day, it's still plastic mixed with something else. So it's still a plastic pedal. I mean, that's why they call them PC. They're plastic. You can say, well, they're a poly blend. It's still plastic. But anyways, guys, I digress. And it looks like I'm gonna need my good old persuader friend, the hammer, to get these cranks undone. That's okay. I'll grab our good old handy dandy rag. I've taught you guys this one before too, but if you're new to this channel, this is how you take cranks out. A little poundy pound. It should start popping right out. Let's see here. We're really struggling with these guys. This is really a struggle, which means it really, really needs grease. And it does not, I can honestly say this, guys, it does not really surprise me, because I didn't, the last time I put these cranks on, I did not grease my bearings, which is a huge no-no. Ooh, that's dead metal, I don't want to hit that. Also, if you hear your hammer like hitting metal, cover it up a little bit more. There we go, now it's starting. Starting to come out. They're getting there. They're really in here. There we go. There we go, guys. Now it's coming out. Come on. Ooh, man. That is in there. Holy crap. That is really, really in there. Okay. Give me just a second, guys. Sorry about this. This just looks silly on my part, but there we go. Okay, so there's the cone. Oh my goodness, man, these are really on here. Oh, I look so silly right now. Okay, let me try this again. I'm gonna pound it a little bit farther, see if I can get them to come out. Oh God. Come on, sucker. Come on, sucker. There we go. Finally. Whew. That was a workout. That was probably freaking 3 minutes of just you guys watching me pound this out. Golly, that was a pain in the neck. Okay. So I'll put the chain out of the way. Take a look at the bearings. So the first thing you want to do when you're checking out your bearings, there are two ways to look at this. Okay. This is a sealed bearing. If you can move it, if you can move this inside ring right here, I don't know if you guys can see that. But inside here, actually, let me grab you guys out. I'm going to show you real quick. Here we go. Okay. So there's a little ring right here. See that ring? See how it's moving? That's a good sign. That means the bearing's not seized. And it's the same thing on the other side. It's not seized. That's good. That means that they're still pretty well greased. They probably could use a little bit more because they're a little bit cranky. Cranky. Get it, cranks? Cranky. But no, they're a little bit dirty, I can tell. I just made my frame super dirty. Comment below if you guys think I should repaint the frame. If I should do a different color. If I should go all white, or if I should go, you know, like black or whatever. I don't really want to go black, so please don't tell me to go black. There's so many black and purple bikes, it's disgusting. I like being different. So, but if you guys think I should change the frame color or repaint the bike at least, because it does look scuzzy to me at least, let me know. Let me know in the comments below. It's been about a year. No, Jesus, it's been like 2 years since I painted my bike. So let me know in the comments below if you think I should do that. All my fellow subscriber peoples. But yeah, these bearings are actually really good still, which is surprising because I have not touched these in, I'll be honest guys, this is going to be bad, but I haven't touched these in 2 years. These are Redline Racing mid bearing kit, and they're freaking awesome. I bought them at Dick West bike shop and barber shop, and they've been great for me. They've been really awesome. Let's put you guys back up here. There we go. What's up? I'm still trying to get used to this tooth thing, man. It's so weird. It's so weird. Okay. But it's not going to be there forever. I'm going to get it fixed. I'm going to my dentist. And then I got to go to what is this? Orthopedic surgeon, I think that's right. Is that right? Or ortho something surgeon. Some kind of surgeon to get that fixed. So yeah. I think it's ortho. No, not orthopedic. That's feet. Orthodontic. Yes, orthodontic for your dentist, right? I just sounded really stupid. I was talking about feet when I was talking about my mouth. Okay, so there are 2 ways to re-grease your bearings if they need re-greased. Usually what I would use is like a file or something really thin, like a chisel, and this looks like a part of the bearing, and it is. And all this is a little ring. And if you can just ever so slightly get it to work itself out, it's just a piece of plastic pretty much, or vinyl, and all you gotta do is pop that sucker out of there. Look, it's already flexing on this side, should pop right out. Yeah, at this point it should come right out. So I'm gonna pull that off. Okay, there you go. There's a little ring I just popped off of there. It's really simple, guys. It's really easy. And you'll see, gosh, I have to bring you guys back again, so sorry. Sorry about this constant adjusting stuff, but I want you guys to see this stuff. It's important. Okay, forgive my hand. But you see the bearings? There's still some grease up in there. Some decent grease that's actually working really well. And it's red. Of course it is, because that's the best kind. So that means that there's still, that's the great thing about sealed bearings right here, guys. Not a whole bunch of dirt gets in there, not a whole bunch of grime gets in there. It stays nice and clean, and the grease stays. But what we're gonna do is we're gonna pack that a little bit more so it gets even smoother. And we're gonna do that on the other side as well. But I'm just gonna show you guys on the one side, and then I'll do the other side myself. So let's put you back up here. This is just basic bike maintenance 101. You gotta make sure you grease your bearings. So you need to find the grease. Where do the grease? Where do you put the grease? Oh, there it is. Okay. Greasy. This is gonna make you greasy. Go. So our red gel. Yellow. Okay, so what you guys are gonna do is you're gonna take this stuff, stick it in there as best as you can. And it's okay if you get it around, if you get it like, try to aim for like the inside if you're working with it. And if you need a little bit more, you just stick it and put it there. Put it there, son. So, and you want to make sure, I mean, pack it. Like, that's what grease is for. Pack that thing. Pack it full of grease. Don't be afraid. It can be very, what's the word I'm looking for? Generous with grease, okay? You want to be nice and generous with grease, but plenty of grease inside those bearings. Because that is your saving grace with bearings. Saving grace. It is what's going to keep this thing running forever. Now, if you want to get crazy technical and nutty with it, you could probably go ahead and pop the bearing out completely out of the frame. Take both these sides out, go up to your kitchen sink, wash all the old grease out, because there might be dirt and particles and stuff like that in there, and then repack it with new grease. But that's just, to me, that's just going a little far, especially when, as long as you do this, guaranteed you'll probably get, I'm going to guarantee probably like 4 to 6 years at least out of your bearings. I guaranteed. As long as you do this every, couple of months, you do this. You don't have to do this every month. You don't have to do this every freaking 3 months. You don't have to do it every 6 months. Well, 6 months you should do it. You should at least do a 6-month bike check. I mean, think about it this way, guys. Think about the car industry for a minute, okay? The car industry. We've talked about that on this channel plenty before, because I love cars too. But think about the car industry. Oh, by the way, you just take this and all you gotta do is use your finger. I'm gonna use my pencil. Just use your finger and shove the vinyl ring back on when you're done. And at this point, it's going to be so greasy, you're probably not even going to be able to move the bearing, which is totally fine. But try to give it a little spin, see how it's doing. Oh my gosh, it already got like 100 times smoother just by having that grease in there. Oh my goodness. There's like no stopping points now at all. I'm not feeling any stopping points just because I added grease. That is awesome. And that's what I'm talking about, guys. That's all you need to do. But just similar to cars, you gotta do your basic maintenance or stuff starts to break down. And you think a bicycle is a simple machine, it probably shouldn't break down that often. You're right. Typically it won't. But if you do stuff like this, it saves you a ton of money down the road. I mean, this bearing kit, just the bearing kit. That's just the bearings. What did it come with? It came with the bearings, and it came with these 2 cones. I don't think it even came with the cones. I think it came with, no, it came with the cone spacers. It came with these 2 cone spacers. Those 2 cone spacers right there. And it came with the bearings. That's it. Oh, and the middle spacer, which, contrary to popular belief, everybody thought, oh, that's just to keep dust and dirt out. Probably that's stupid. I thought the same thing when I was putting my bikes together when I was younger. And then I kept on trying to figure out why the heck my bearings would blow out in a couple of months or a year or whatever. I didn't know this little fact. It's physics. See, if you have 2 bearings that are, that big, and you're pedaling, okay, you got all your weight on your pedals, and you're pushing, what's happening is that axle is moving the bearings left to right, and left to right, and left to right. And you think, okay, that's not a big deal, Greg, it's just bearings, they're just moving left to right. Here's the thing, over time, it breaks down the bearings, because the bearings aren't meant to hold that much load. So what that spacer does is it makes the load even. It holds, because it's in between the 2, it holds the load. So when you're rocking back and forth while you're riding, it's all staying consistent. It's all staying one way. It's not boom, 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 boom. Instead it's boom, 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 boom. So it's straight. So I guess a great example of this would be my fingers going like this. Okay, and then let me show you guys an axle. Okay, this axle, instead of pushing your bearing here and then pushing your bearing here, it's moving in one linear line like this because of that center bar, because that stupid little center spacer. You'd think it wouldn't be a big deal, but it is. It's very much a big deal, and it definitely helps save your bearings. So off camera, I'm going to take care of the rest of this. I think what we will do is we will move on to the front end and look at the bearings inside of the headset, the internal headset. So give me just a second and we'll start doing that. Okay, ladies and gents, we're back. So I did the other side of my cranks. So they're nice and greased. Nice and greasy. Forgive me, I should have done this off camera, but whatever. So the next thing, contrary to popular belief, unless you plan on doing something awesome with your bars, like repainting them or putting a new pair of bars on, or any of the above aforementioned things, or you're replacing your stem, there is absolutely no reason to remove your bars from your stem while you're tuning up your bike. There's just really not. Unless they are coming loose or something weird is going on, then you might need to do that. But typically, you don't need to do that. Okay, so these bolts probably haven't been loosened up in a long time. Wow, the top one was extremely loose. That's kind of scary. It also helps every but once in a while, guys, when you've been riding really hard, to go ahead and check your bolts and stuff, and make sure that everything's like I don't know, tight. Goodness gracious, but if one's being incredibly ridiculous, then you might have an issue. But that issue can usually be resolved very quickly. Let me see. I just need to get some torque on this guy. Let's see. I need a bigger wrench. Hold on a second, guys. Let's see what we got here. What can I use? What can I use? Will this fit? Yes, that will fit. No, not quite the way I want it to, though. This is one of those cases, guys, where if you have a regular wrench, it's really helpful. A regular Allen, which I don't think I do in that size. Let me see, though. It's also where this guy might even come into play and help out a little bit. Let's see. Yep, it did. Okay. So, no, I lied. These are sometimes very helpful. Because sometimes the T-handle just doesn't have quite enough oomph on one side or the other. Okay. So we're just going to loosen these guys up. If you have a brake cable, or if you have a removable brake lever, like a clamp one, go ahead and take it off. It makes it easier, so it's not like hanging around, being a pain in your neck. You can kind of just move your bars and everything away. Whoa, that is very deep. Okay. So, remove these kink forks. Sound really rusty and bent and old, but I love this. I love the size of this thing. It's freaking huge. I also love the way it threads too. It's just so large. Large. Okay, so there's my spacer. Now there's that. Now if it's been some time, this is probably going to be a pain in the neck. Sometimes it's best to just press down. And then that just goes like that. Oh. Make sure you didn't lose the bottom bearing when you're doing that. Oh goodness, holy crap. Okay, didn't mean to pull down that hard. But these have really good friction on the integrated ones. Really, really good friction. But, okay, so we're gonna check out our headset bearings. This one looks really good, super smooth. Could use some more grease. The one on the bottom one is usually the one that gets the most grief, though. Honestly, but if you keep your forks and bars super tight to your headset, like there's no play really at all. There cannot be any play. Then your bearings should be fine. I mean, these should last you a long, long, long time. Ways to know if they're bad, though, especially with the sealed ones. The unsealed, the bearings will just fall right out. But sealed ones are a little bit harder to tell. If they're really gritty and like giving you problems, they're probably bad. Also, if they're crazy loose, like you can like pretty much peel them apart, they're probably garbage. These ones, you can hear the bearing. It's kind of clicking around a little bit, which, I mean, really, I could replace them, but they're like 20 bucks for a set of these. 20 bucks. That's just stupid. So instead, we're gonna do exactly what we did with the bottom ones, and that's re-grease these. Now, re-greasing these is a little bit different than doing your bottom bracket, your bottom bracket bearings, because these don't just like pop apart very easy. They're like solid cased, so they really, I mean, from the factory, they're factory pressed, and you don't want to really break the factory seal. So what I usually do for these, it sounds silly, but all I really do, get old grease again, good old grease again, and all you do is you just take some grease, go like this with your finger again, or if you guys are like germaphobes or you're creeped about like grease, then just use a freaking rag or a, like I said, a brush. Like I said that in the video before, just use a freaking brush if you're creeped by this stuff. But you shouldn't be. If you're a BMX biker, you've seen everything, man. You've seen a lot of nasty stuff. If you fall, whatever, or anything like that. But just pack the sucker with grease. Try to get into all those little crevices and cracks. Look, see? Get into all of that stuff right there. All that right there. Just keep rubbing it around. And what should happen is, guys, you should be able to tell when the grease is really setting in to the bearing when you move it around and there's no like grinding or popping or anything like that. It should be nice and smooth. And then you'll know that your bearing is packed with a decent amount of grease. So, and it shouldn't take a lot. It shouldn't, again, should not take a lot to get this done. They're not very big bearings. Should be pretty quick and easy. Just nicka and stick it in. That sounded so wrong. That sounded so wrong. Anyway, so we do all that. We do all that stuff. All that jazz. Get them all greasy. Really work on trying to get it in there. So as much as you could possibly get in there, try to get it in there. As much grease as you can inside the bearing. Just pack it in. Don't be afraid of being generous with grease. Don't ever be afraid of being generous with it. Because being generous is not going to hurt it. It's only going to make it better. It's only going to make it better. Okay, so saturate it with some grease. Drop it back in. Okay. Same with the bottom one. Drop it back in. You can also use some grease to seal them in. I've seen guys do that before. I do it myself sometimes. With the bottom bearing, you just take a little bit of it and wipe it along the top right here, the concave where it sets into the frame, and just stick it on there. And what it'll do is, because grease is a little bit sticky, it'll kind of hold it in place while you put your forks back on, which is pretty freaking dope. So there we go. Slide that sucker back in there. Make sure it sits right. You want to make sure it's flush in there. There we go. It should like pop into place. The top one doesn't, but that's because it's built like that. Okay. So then you just take your special little rag, get any excess grease off from where you put the bearings in. Okay. If you want to get crazy, you can use some cleaner and clean it, which I probably will, but not right now. Put the forks back in. Make sure that you put your forks in the right way though. There you go. Well, sometimes it'll lift the top bearing off. You just want to make sure the bearing goes back where it's supposed to be. Okay, the other thing that you can grease just a little bit. This is the place where you don't want to get crazy with grease. But you can place a little bit on the threads in the side just to make things easier. You can do that with any of your threads, but be easy with it. Too much grease on threads is a bad idea because then things will come loose all the time. But it is nice for when you go to do your annual or semi-annual or quarterly bike cleaning and checkup. That's what I'll call it. I mean, a lot of guys call it a tune-up, but come on, man, it's a BMX bike. It's not a freaking motorcycle. It's not rocket science. But I mean, I think that's why I make these videos, guys, because even though it's not rocket science, a lot of people don't know this stuff anymore. I mean, they really don't. Most people don't know how to put a bicycle back together or grease stuff or anything like that. And that's why I make these videos, because people need to be in the know to save themselves some dough. Be in the know to save yourself some dough. Yeah, I like that. You know what? I'm gonna coin that phrase. Be in the know to save yourself some dough. I'm such a freaking nerd. Okay, guys. So before you get your greasy fingers all over your bars, grab another rag and make sure your hands are kind of clean. And you can stick your good old-fashioned bars back on. There we go. But sometimes it's good to remember your spacer first. So a spacer. And then your bars are just going to be there we go. Let's say pain in the neck. Okay, so let me find my, where did it go? Where's the bolt for my forks? There's a bolt for my forks. Oh, there it is. Bolt for your forks. You can also grease that a little bit, unless you put the grease away, which I'm not going to grease mine because that's just not, I don't feel like that's a smart idea. But because there's already grease on the threads, it should be really simple and easy. And because I don't have my front wheel on yet, I'm not going to get crazy with it. I'm just going to tighten it down. There we go. Okay, and then you're going to move your bars where they kind of need to be. Kind of eye them up a little bit. But you're not going to be able to really eye up your front end and know exactly if it's aligned with your forks or not until you're done. So after that, I just snug tight the stem. Do not tighten it down all the way. There's no point because you're going to be loosening it up anyway to go ahead and adjust it so that way it's all aligned. So just enough to hold it in place, and then just check it out. Oh my gosh, it's like when I first got it, or like when I first put it back together. It's so smooth, guys. It's insanely smooth now. Like, that's bar spin city waiting to happen, bro. So smooth. So that's it, guys. I mean, that's literally the only thing I left to do is to put the bike back together, which you guys have already seen videos of me putting bikes back together, taking them apart and putting it back together again. And this video is starting to get pretty freaking long, don't you think? But anyways, guys, I'm gonna get back to working on this, putting it back together. I hope you all enjoyed this episode of Hybrid BMX. Sorry that it was so stupidly long, but that's how these videos are going to be because I only get one time a week to talk to you guys now. I'm so busy with this job. So, update on that too. It's going really well. I work in a pretty filthy, dirty shop here in Erie doing machining. I was doing grinding, but I worked my way up to machining, which I hope I still have that because, oh, these machines are old and rough. But either way, I'm hoping to still have my machine position on Monday morning. Just kind of running a little bit low on rate, which is for you guys that aren't machinists or into manufacturing at all. Pretty much what rate is the amount of parts you have to get done in a day, in a given shift. So I have a certain amount that I have to get done, so I've been a little bit low on it, but I'm also getting started. So, but the job's going good. The family's happy. We went to Splash Lagoon today, which is here in Erie. It's an indoor water park, so it was an absolute blast. We had fun. We did that. We went to McDonald's. We played in the arcade for a little bit at Splash Lagoon, so that was fun. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much what's been going on. Pretty basic, easy week. I hope you guys have a great one, and I hope that that this weather gets better soon and I can get out riding a little bit. But until the next episode, I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. If I have any updates or anything happens where I get to film for a little bit, I'll definitely keep you posted. But until then, make sure you like, share, subscribe, and always come back here to hang out with your boy, G Birdie. Peace, love, rock, deuces, guys.